This week we end a revolution, but start a riot at the Rocket League. Will our dreams be devastated? Let's just call on a Jaeger Strike to blow everything up. This is episode 58 of Indie Game Riot. Indie Game Riot! Hey everybody, this is JaShinYa, and this is Indie Game Riot episode 58.
Yes.
Post IRX madness.
Yeah,
And,
maybe this one won't be 47 minutes long.
Oh, well, the part of that was because we had a different setup,
Yeah.
and the other part of it was like, we're so fucking tired.
Yeah, yeah, it was rough.
But first, before we get into ourselves, let me note that Rev is not here,
Yes.
as noted by his now official symbol of Rev is not here.
Yeah.
Of dude punching computer screen.
At some point, we need to actually get that image and mock it up with Rev actually punching a hole through a laptop.
Can we just Photoshop? Someone get on Photoshopping Rev's face on that image right there.
Yeah, I'll just search for computer punch and it'll show up. I didn't even search that. I just know it's gonna show up.
Computer punch. I searched, I think, like angry IT guy or something.
I searched IT. I didn't even spell workers right. I just tapped it as quickly as possible and hit enter, and it still showed up.
Oh man. Oh yeah. So yeah, he's not here unfortunately. So it's just Tech and I. But you know, screw that guy.
Yeah, we handled the first whole day of IRX without him anyway. And he was in the chat, but
yeah, he was. He was actually helping out with some of the chat things.
Yeah.
So it's,
yeah.
let me remind you all that we do have a phone number: 717-508-RIOT, 717-508-7468. If you don't know the English alphabet, so go call that. We could get your message and play it on the air and respond in kind.
It's the best way for people who aren't watching the live show to talk to the live show.
Yeah, exactly. Get involved.
Yeah.
Secondly, how has your week been, Zach, especially after IRX?
So my week has been kind of busy. One of our drivers has cut his hours down a lot, and then another driver is on vacation. So I have been opening the store a lot more, which involves a surprisingly larger amount of work than only working 4 or 5 hours at the night shift versus 8 or what I did today, 9 on the day shift. And I got you did a
9-hour shift?
It was 8.5. I had to stay late, you know.
You were bad.
No, I was actually just being
You're
a
in
really
after-school
good.
detention.
Oh my god, dude, no. But I did have to deal with. I did have to deal with some really annoying things today. I got stiffed on a $90 ticket.
Yeah.
It was
while you were on the job?
It was 3 bags. I delivered 3 bags to these people and they didn't tip me at all. And it was a summer camp. I need to write that review. I delivered 400.
So were they why are you late? The hell?
No, they were nice, but there's sign the slip. There you go. And I was even everything cool? Yeah. Okay. And I just walked out great. All right. Great start of the day.
That's funny, actually.
Yeah. And then I
always wonder.
Yeah.
Because if you have a topper on, I always feel like cops should be kind of a little bit more lenient. Not that you can be doing whatever the hell you want, but I mean, they don't pull over. I think about that because they don't pull over buses or company cars very often. They do pull over tractor trailers a lot, but that's because they're assholes. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry if you truck, but I hate Mack trucks and stuff like that. I don't know. I just think it's kind of dumb to pull over a pizza guy. Unless you were doing crazy speeds.
Yeah. I think, surprisingly enough, one of the more reckless drivers that used to work here never got pulled over driving, and he didn't even use a topper. So I might be I sort of know where all the cops hide, but I don't know. I try not to be a dick when I drive, because I I got on the 4th of July. A car turned right on red into me as I was going straight through a light that was green and almost hit me. And then they switched lanes again into another car, and we get to the light at the same time. And I'm looking at them like, and they're looking at me and they're looking at the topper, and I'm like, yeah, they're gonna call the store. They're gonna complain, and I have a very valid excuse. So.
I've had that happen to me before. I used to deliver for the local library system around here, and I got some old couple called they knew like the library, and they called the library and complained, and actually almost the exact same thing. It was almost the exact same thing, except it was me during the turn right, but they had the red, so I turned right, and then I guess the light had just turned green, and so they felt that I'd cut them off.
Basically, what you can get from this is people are dumb, especially when they're driving cars.
All the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Some old Asian guy actually almost ran me off the road because he didn't know where he was going. Asian guy from Massachusetts. I
have never been more terrified than when the other day I'm sitting in my car at a four-way stop, and it's a four-way stop where all four sides have different lanes going a certain direction, like they have a median, and I'm sitting on this side of the median, or this for you folks at home. And there's a street coming this way. You can't see it, but it's coming this way. And I'm stopped there, and I see this Asian lady careening past the stop sign, turning super wide, trying to get into the turn, and just barely makes it. And I'm sitting there just like, she could have just killed me right there. It was terrifying.
I get so angry when I drive. Well.
All right, but you know what? You can. I think they have a medicine for that like chills you out.
Sure, I won't talk about my week. It's fine.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
You see the rudeness?
I thought you did.
No, not at all. That was all you.
I heard you talking.
It's just you, all day, all tech.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And no, it's cool. Whatever. You know, I only won the lottery.
Oh, really?
It's not true at all. Not at all. Man, I am. It's not like official, but I am hoping actually to. I might have another place lined up to live, which is across our fingers. I don't know yet.
Yeah,
because it also depends on the credit check, and my credit sucks. But you know, here's to hoping, because I won't be here anymore.
Yeah.
But if that does happen, obviously it's going to take some time to set up. So I'll keep you up to date as far as the show goes. Minimal. I'll try to minimize the interruption for Indie Game Riot business.
How are the kids?
The kids are children. My son's birthday is coming up in a couple weeks on the 8th of August. So there's that. Today we were actually getting stuff for his birthday, like decorations and stuff. So that took a chunk out of my money. That's what I think of that. Yeah. Although I did get him a really cool. I was happy because I got him a really cool a gift. One of my favorite toys when I was younger. It was like an actual metal Tonka truck. So that was one of my favorite toys because I had like these little G.I. Joes. I might have been talking about this on another show before, but these little G.I. Joes I used to play with, and I used to like set them up in the Tonka truck, and they would, you know, like they were going, you know, it was cool stuff.
Going around.
Liked it. Yeah. It's funny though because he knows he'll like make this car sound when he plays with cars. So you know, it's cute.
But he can't talk yet.
Judge me. Yeah, he can't talk yet.
That's a creative kid. He's going to be the next dude from Police Academy whose name escapes me always.
Michael Winslow?
Yeah, Michael Winslow. I was like, is it Winslow? Something Low?
I think it's Winslow.
Yeah,
Laszlo. That's from GTA.
Yeah.
Oh man. Also, Doc made a good point. Even though you got that ticket, you probably still made out profit from that.
Oh, what?
Wait, how much of a tip did you get from that camp?
From zero.
Wait, you didn't get any tip from that?
No, they stiffed me.
Oh, so you negative 90'd.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, no. They paid me. They stiffed me on the tip. Sorry. Was that not clear before? I thought that was clear before.
No, maybe just no one was paying attention.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But you know what'll help you pay attention?
An indie news injection.
Are you bored with the same old games?
Yeah?
Why, then give yourself an indie news injection.
Thanks, Indie Games.
All right, everybody, this week on the news, there's not really any news. There might be some news, but we didn't look up news because we got stuff to talk about Indie Game Riot and IRX and all this stuff.
I don't think that the news happened this week.
There is no news.
No
the world
news.
stood still. That's the news.
Now, if Johnny sees you, tell him you never saw me.
Screw Johnny. Anyway. First of all, Indie Revolution Expo happened.
Yeah.
Last weekend.
It
was incredibly fun.
It was incredibly exhausting.
And incredibly stressful.
But
it's going to happen again.
It's some of the most fun I've had with Indie Game Riot.
It's gonna happen again next year. We're not doing this all the time.
yeah, next year.
I know a lot of people are actually, but it makes me feel good because a lot of people were like, "Man, can we do this again?" Like they want it to happen again. I mean, there are the people that all they had to do was show up, really.
Yeah.
But I mean, although some people did put a lot of work in, their panels and stuff like that. But it still makes me feel good that people are hungry for this, and it makes me feel good that
I'm hungry for this. I want more.
I want more. Just I need a break.
Yeah. Maybe like 3 times a year max.
That's I'd like it to be a nice thing to build up because we'll have plenty of time to plan. Get lots of really
and
cool.
I'll always have like more events. Like, what if we like scheduled more like 3-day IRX events? Not like conventions, not with the same like organization, but more like streaming sessions.
I think. Well, I've thought about it because we a little bit of Metacast, but a little bit of also what we're talking about in this news segment anyway is kind of behind the scenes Indie Game Riot stuff. Some plans that we have. We talked about it with you guys sometimes. But I mean, I've thought about having. Well, actually, we are with Patreon. So those who support our Patreon, they are going to be invited to streams every month, at least one, specifically for Patreon. And I was thinking maybe we could, stream people's games. So instead of like a convention, and we could do this more than just Patreon, but there's always got to be one exclusive to Patreon for them, since as a thank you. But I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be cool to kind of stream games like, hey, how there's like a screenshot Saturday on Twitter?
Yeah.
And like Indie Game, I don't know if it's Indie Game Mag's idea, but they seem to be hopping on it anyway. I think it'd be cool to kind of have like, hey, we're streaming from this time to this time. Send us your game builds and we'll test them out and show them off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. So just some ideas. Speaking of ideas, anything else you want to say about New Revolution Expo? It happened. Some really cool games, really cool panels.
So IRX was seriously awesome, and it was so awesome that tempers were sort of starting to flare. Like you know the scene. You've been hanging out with like the same person for like 72 straight hours, and you're just fucking sick of them. It wasn't getting that bad in this case, but there was like a few moments where I'm just like, fuck this. not outwardly, but like, and then as soon as that happened, I'm just like, no, this is awesome. What am I saying to myself?
That's funny, actually.
Why?
I see now. VH1 Behind the Podcast comes out. No, I understand. It's stressful.
Yeah. No, but it wasn't.
There
really
were moments.
Like,
there were
like
moments where I kind of wanted to. There were moments where I kind of wanted to strangle the two of you, but
yeah. Yeah, I understand, but like that's sort of like what you have to deal with.
Yeah, like we worked through it. Through it, all works out in the end. It's worth it.
Exactly. No,
we're all still friends.
Yeah.
And I think that's we were talking about before the show about Indy 3, about some things I'm not going to repeat here, but one of the things with Indy 3 from last year, was the whole like everyone, I don't know what happened, but shit went down.
Yeah.
Drama ensued. I feel like we handled this whole thing very well.
Yeah.
Comparatively.
I think that even the amount of downtime that we had was so minuscule and so smooth. Like, really, this This was not the surface of a golf ball, people. This was like a ping pong ball. Every now and then there's a dent, but
a big thumb size powder explodes out.
And that's when at that moment was when I left for work on day 2.
Oh, but it all worked out in the end.
Yeah,
so there's
it all worked out in the end. Thanks to you guys at home.
Yeah,
and if you missed it,
actually,
there's always
thanks
next year.
thanks more to. I mean, there was a lot of help between. I mean, Tech Rev and I, did what we did, but
yeah.
Prep who is in chat and everything like that obviously helped out a lot with images. Joey and Bell, thank you. Everyone who did a panel, thank you so much. God, I was so impressed with all the panels. I'm going to be honest. There were some panels like, oh, I'm going to be interested.
Yeah, okay.
Like, just me personally. I was like, it's not my thing. But even ones where I thought I was like, I'm actually kind of sucked into this.
Yeah.
There were times where I had to get up and leave, but that's because, I've been sitting on my ass for how many hours
like
straight?
8 hours. And you're
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah.
So
You
it's
got to
like,
stand up.
And it was like 100 degrees in the room, literally. So, there were those things, but that had nothing to do with the actual panel itself.
Yeah.
I was super interested in every single panel. And talk about impressed, the quality of the games were incredible.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was so hard picking those awards. Congratulations, by the way, to the award winners. You want to recap the award winners real quick? I have it's on the website.
Yeah, we'll just mention it. That's actually a really good point. We should have brought that up.
No, I have.
Notes.
Yeah, I got it right here. I got it up.
Do you have the winners listed?
Yeah, I got it up.
Oh, okay.
So a bunch of honorable mentions. Just to recap, there was Adventures in Equica, Unicorn Training, which is a cool mobile game. Jaeger Strike, which we're talking about today in Going Mobile, another mobile game. Vidar by Dean.
Razavi.
Thank you. I always wanted to mix the V and the Z up.
Yeah.
I always want to say now I can't say it.
Ravazi.
Anyway. Hollow Bunnies, Toby, The Lost Mine, Poncho, Pixel Noir, Dr. Space Zoo, We Need to Go Deeper, Speedrunners, The Dark Side Detective, and Devastated Dreams, another one we're talking about today, and Peep Show. All honorable mentions. And then there were 5 categories that we gave out awards for. Best Design went to Goblins and Grottos. Really cool game involving traps and kind of tactical gameplay as far as killing asshole heroes as a goblin. And Best Art by Dropsy, who, by the way, is currently in our this show's live stream chat. So congratulations, Jay, again.
Yeah,
and
definitely deserved it. Like that, the art in that is spectacular.
I said it before. I think his pixel art, because people are like, pixel art so lazy. I'm like, really?
No.
Have you seen this dude's art? It looks like a water painting. You know what I mean? Like, Anyway, Best Audio, The Crow's Eye, really cool first-person survival horror game. Best Writing to Dusk of the Dragon. I have no idea how to pronounce that.
That was sort of like a. How do I put this?
It was a RPG.
But it's like a free roaming RPG. Like, it's not just like, oh yeah, walk on this. Like, there's some jumping involved.
Really detailed. I'm impressed.
Very detailed. Atmospheric. For a top-down RPG, like very atmospheric.
Yeah. Most innovative mechanic was kind of a given, to be honest, but absolutely deserved it, was Icebound.
Yeah. And
then, of course, the best overall game, most revolutionary game, we called it, went to Boss 101 from Tim Donnelly. He basically, how we determined that was who displayed the best out of every single category, overall.
That's basically what we boiled it down to, because
Boss 101.
Yeah.
Yeah. The game didn't win any of the other categories. It didn't come in first, but it came in the top 5 at least.
Yeah.
In every single category, which is why it came down. Because for instance,
writing.
Well, I was gonna say, like, good example was be the best audio.
Oh yeah.
Crow's Eye, fantastic audio, good, voice acting, all that sort of stuff. Not the best design, nothing outstanding about the mechanic. I'm not saying it's not fun. I'm definitely wanting to play it, but it's not like whoa, I haven't seen that before.
Yeah. Partially, it's his fault because the game is on Newgrounds.
Right.
But
but but Boss 101, as far as audio goes, fantastic design with sound effects and or design choices with sound effects and the soundtrack. And the soundtrack is epic. So again, it was like in the top,
and like,
at least
and
the top
even
5
mechanically, it was pretty solid, which was one of those categories that was sort of harder to, populate higher games.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. So anyway, but those are the winners. Say congratulations to every single one of them because they deserve it.
Yeah.
And then even ones that didn't get honorable mention, because I feel kind of bad because I wanted to award people who deserved it.
Yeah.
But I still feel bad because there were people who deserve awards that didn't get awards, and it was only because a lot of the games were maybe not enough was complete for us to be like, okay, you get an award, whereas other ones were like there was enough for us to see to say you definitely get this. But there were definitely other games that were like I really want to see more of, and I hope they come back next year with a bigger and better build, and maybe they'll get an award next year.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of next year, you're gonna want to pack your things, go out to the country because we're starting the Riot.
No, we're not.
We're not?
No.
Why'd you let me keep going through the transition, though?
I didn't know where you're going with that.
No,
I thought you had something to say.
Oh,
anyway.
These notes are not tagged.
No, they're not. So one other thing to talk about for the news is more Indie Game Riot related, just updates and things like that. First of all, I added at the bottom of our page, actually it shows up on all the pages, but at the bottom in like the footer area, some Kickstarters to keep an eye on. So if you have a game or know someone who has a game that's on Kickstarter and you want us to kind of show it off and maybe get some attention to it, please let us know. All you have to do is say, hey, check out this game and send us the link to the Kickstarter. We'll take a look and, assuming everything is on the up and up, because we probably won't. The one thing that we won't display is something that seems, not saying that it is definitely, but something that seems fishy from the outside. If you're not showing where the money's going, for instance, or if it's not very clear as to what's being done with the Kickstarter money, probably won't display it. But otherwise, we're all for helping out indie games, so send us through email, contact@indiegameriot.com, and we'll put it at the bottom of the page there. The other thing is, I mentioned this earlier, a little surprise, was Preposterone in the chat, who's been helping us with all that stuff. I'd like to officially welcome him to the Indie Game Riot team. We added him after IRX with all of his help and all that sort of stuff, so thanks, Prep, for that. And he now has his own email address. Feel free to spam him dogs humping. Oh, that was fantastic. That's an IRX inside joke. Anyway, Preposterone at IndieGameRiot.com. And it was such a good segue. Sorry, Jay. But Tech missed it. He was not on the ball. Yeah. And unfortunately for Prep, though, as an official part of the team, he is no longer eligible to make out like a bandit when we have giveaways.
Yeah.
Because, that's just not fair anymore if he is actually part of the Indie Game Riot team. And now I feel like I'm missing something. There was one other thing. Because, you see all the updated overlays and all that stuff.
Yeah. Bunch of cool new overlay stuff.
I'm going to remember later on.
You're going to remember later on?
Okay, go ahead with your segue. Act like it never happened.
So, while you're acting like the segue never happened, you might want to go into starting the Riot.
This week on Starting the Riot, we have a game that's really impressive called Rocket League. Rocket League is a combination of driving cars and playing soccer.
Yeah.
To put it lightly, this very understated.
You know what this game reminds me of?
What's that?
Do you remember? I can't remember the game, but it got a lot of bad press back in the day. Where it's like the football, you're driving a car and it's like the football team and you have to like mow them over to get points.
I don't know. This is actually a sequel to another game. The developers of this game, by the way, are Psyonix. And they, if that name sounds familiar, they have helped out with a lot of things Their studios helped out with things like Gears of War, a lot of AAA stuff. I can't remember. Carmageddon, they're saying in the chat.
Okay.
Sure,
yeah, I think that is it.
But this was actually, let me see. They probably have it somewhere on the description of the thing somewhere.
One fun thing that just popped up, PS4 and PC crossplay. So if your friend has a PS4 and you have it on Steam, you can play with each other.
Really?
That's what they're saying.
I have it on PS4, so if that's a thing,
then I could get it on Steam.
I think they actually might. Yeah, they actually might be hosting their own servers, which would make sense in that case.
I think they do.
But yeah, that would make sense. But yeah, anyway, Psyonix, if they sound familiar, they've worked on a lot of AAA stuff. Mass Effect, XCOM, Bulletstorm. They're kind of whizzes with Unreal Engine, basically, and
I think
that's how they're kind of famous.
Yeah.
But Psyonix, it's always been like contracted work, and this is why that Rocket League isn't considered an indie game, even though they worked on all these. It's because they did it completely themselves and is self-published.
Yeah.
Whereas everything else has been done by Sony or Microsoft.
And good for them for having so much publicity. Like this game, I know we sometimes talk about super popular games, sometimes don't, but this game is getting a lot of really good press. It's really popular with a lot of YouTubers. Yeah. And for good reason. Like this game looks like a AAA studio put it out.
But what I was trying to say was that Rocket League is actually a sequel to a game that they came out with called Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Power Battle Cars. That's the game I was trying to think of.
That is a very clever name.
So Rocket League, much simple. Yeah. Anyway. Some of the basics of Rocket League. You are playing what's essentially soccer inside of a dome. And the dome is kind of curved on a field. So like basically it's like a flat field, but then the walls start curving up and there's a little ceiling. And your cars are kind of crazy, super powered. They can jump and double jump, and they can do flips, and they can use their rocket boosters. So you can actually drive up a wall, use your rocket booster to drive all the way around the whole thing, come back on the other side. Talk about. I always talk about games that make you.
You're talking about this like a kid who just got like toys for Christmas.
It's like oh, it explodes.
Which is a really good way of expressing how this game makes you feel.
I don't care if you don't like sports games. I don't care if you're not. If you have the tiniest ounce of competitiveness inside of you, this game is so fun.
I will say that. No, actually, continue.
Yeah, all these things that you put together, it's a giant old ball, like a beach ball type of thing that you're smacking around with your car, and you can do like 1-on-1 or 4-on-4. 3-on-3, I think, is like the standard, but you can do some crazy. Like it's hard to master. It's not, the controls are simple, but it's hard to actually do well.
Like learn how your car controls,
because it's all based on angles and physics. Yeah. So the ball's like bouncing off the wall, so you kind of have to know like how fast and what angle and like timing, you know what I mean? So there is that. There's a couple other things with like maybe the AI could be programmed a little bit better, but I expect that if they do a Rocket League 2, you know what I mean, that will obviously be fixed.
And obviously this is sort of tailored to that multiplayer experience. So I can understand the cheap AI.
There is a single player. But that's how I mentioned the AI. Oh yeah, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
But so there are like a couple things like if you play on the easy option, like for instance, the ball starts in the middle after a score is goal. Score is made, and everyone kind of rushes at it at once. In easy version, the other cars don't really rush as fast. So you get to it first almost every single time. And there's a certain angle that you can hit it that's like automatic goal. You know what I mean? Like just how you hit it off and it just goes right in. So it's kind of an exploit that could be fixed. But it's a lot harder to do that if you bump up the difficulty. Second thing is every once in a while, your own team, like if the other team hits the ball towards your goal, your team will go after it trying to defend the goal, right? The AI. But occasionally the AI will get the ball and then just start pushing it in the same direction that it was going in the first place and score their own goal. You know what I mean? On your own goal. So that kind of pisses me off. But, that's all little things that in an overall extremely fun game. And what I was trying to say is that when you're driving around like this thing and you're using your rocket boosters, you can do some badass things. Like you can do flips, and there was probably one of the most memorable baddest things I've done so far. I was driving, like the wall, like I said, the wall slopes up, and I was driving on the side of the wall, like not towards the ceiling, but just kind of along the side, like vertical. And they were shooting on our goal, and and I saw it, and the wall ends, because the goal's right there, and it's just a gap for the goal. I shoot across the goal, and I'm like last second, saved the ball from going in. It was like, and it gives you points for doing cool things too. It was like epic save. I was like, yeah. And then they scored anyway.
It knows.
Oh,
that's
so
awesome.
Yeah, it's such a fun game.
Yeah.
Again, if anyone has this game, play this with me. And talking about the multiplayer part of it too, I've played a couple games online as well, and it's fun. There are some. It's kind of, at this point, there's not too many people that have, because how you play like something like Call of Duty, and there's like this is retarded. Like, sorry to use that word, but this is ridiculous. It's like, why? I can't even pop my head up from spawn point, and you're just already sniping it off. Yeah, I don't think there's enough people. There are some people that are pretty good at this game, and it's an obvious difference. But overall, you're still having fun.
Yeah,
and you're still doing well enough that you don't feel like it's not even worth it anymore.
Ridiculous shit. That's very fun.
Fun is the keyword of this game. Yeah. It's so great.
Think of it like this. If you have ever played one of those car soccer custom maps from Halo 3, you'll be right at home and you'll love this. It's the first. It's one of the things that just reminds me of Halo 3.
So a couple other features too. There's there's a whole bunch of different stadiums, different teams that you can play against if you play single player. And then also you can customize your car, and you unlock stuff by leveling up. You can unlock decals, antenna toppers, hats for your car, which sounds ridiculous, and it kind of is sometimes, but still like have a hat. You know what I mean? And it all shows up in your multiplayer and single player. Mm-hmm. Different bodies for the cars.
There's lots of customization.
Yeah, it's really cool. I can't sing enough praise for this game. So good job, Psyonix. It is currently, if I can actually go find the thing real quick, because I'm prepared.
Yeah.
As always. You have the thing up?
It is $19.99.
Thank you. $19.99 to pick up. Currently, this month, if you have a PS4 with PlayStation Plus membership, it is free on PS4. So go download it if you haven't done that already.
Yeah.
PS4 users, and then you can play with me. There you go. Any thoughts, Tech?
I think you did a good job. It's fun.
I just had a Tech moment on this game. I was just like,
I see it. No, I let you do it. I mean, it's all
I was thinking about this game too.
Yeah, it's great.
I was thinking about this game too because I know you and especially Rev don't like sports and stuff like that.
Hey man,
sports ball. But this is a game
doesn't make me think of sports.
No, this game makes you think of like you were saying, like that childhood where you're watching the Transformers commercials for toys and stuff. You're like, Transformers is like Rocket League,
Yeah.
Anyway, you can use your rocket to shoot through the air, not even to climb up walls. You can jump in the air.
This is literally a 4-year-old's car chase.
And when the ball's up high, you can hit it just midair.
Yeah, so
way
cool.
up in the high.
Yeah. But you know what else is super high and way cool?
Bob Marley?
No one. Don't do drugs, kids. It's Peep Show.
Please give all your attention to Early Access.
And this week on Peep Show, we have a game that I'm surprised it's here. I'm very surprised it's here. You would think from the critical acclaim of its predecessor, it would already been funded. We are talking about Devastated Dreams from Matt Gilgenbach. I want to make sure I got that.
It's hard
right.
to pronounce that last name at first glance.
Yeah, or even at the top of your head while you're trying to switch to some gameplay footage. So it takes place, and unfortunately, I lost the press kit too that had all my notes. So it takes place in the Philippines. You play as a very pregnant mother who is expecting a baby soon, and then things start to get a lot scarier and a lot more things. Oh Jesus!
You want me to take this since you lost the thing?
I did lose the thing. I can actually pull it up. So if you guys remember Never Ending Nightmares. Sorry.
Fantastic game. One of the top contenders for last year's Riot of the Year award.
Definitely. So Matt likes to put a lot of his own
Personal
self,
emotions.
personal understanding of emotions into his games, and tries to express that to the player in a way that isn't alienating and is very effective. And we saw this a lot with Never Ending Nightmares, with the OCD and depression represented in that game. And here we have that more of that fear for your and anxiety, expecting a child.
This is more of an anxiety kind of thing, I think, because he mentioned, because during Indie Revolution Expo, if you missed it, he actually had a panel talking about horror and video games and kind of giving tips on how to make horror and all that sort of stuff. And using your own personal fears, I think, is a good way to do horror well, because what's scary to you? For instance, me, spiders. I'm like, well, I know how to make spiders scary because I'm terrified of them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. In this case, he has anxiety because his wife is currently expecting. By the way, congratulations, Matt, if you're listening. But so in order to kind of, to me, I'm assuming this is more of a release for him, kind of a cathartic experience making this game, because instead of holding all that anxiety in, he's putting it out into this game.
Yeah, exactly.
In this horror.
And also, another feature is that was the last game. Got them mixed up. You can't run a whole lot because you're pregnant. I was gonna say asthma, but asthma is the
it's
the
same
other one. But
same
it's the
thing. Whereas the running mechanic kind of does not last long, so it adds to the fear because you can't get away as fast. Mm-hmm. He said that people were complaining about that in the last game, so he did make it a little bit faster, but he didn't want to take it away because like if you can just sprint away from the monsters, then
they're not.
It's not scary anymore. Right.
Yeah. So this is pushing a real this one's very real. Like this one's based off of so much more real stuff, because this is based around
this one
like real life locations in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Like, and he's been there.
Well, this hits home for me just having kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And with my first kid especially, there were complications. Nothing like super serious, but it's still like it could have been serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's kind of scary when you're left in the dark for a little bit. You don't really know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
In doctors, in order to keep you from panicking, they almost always lie to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we found this
it's
thing.
honest.
Like, probably shouldn't worry about it. We're going to run some tests. The
needles
come out.
And then they go in the back like, oh shit, what do we do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just like
it's kind of what happens.
This man has 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's kind of what happens.
Jenkins, you're breaking it to him.
Hop to it, rookie.
Yeah, exactly. Like it, but we're joking about it because it's so real.
Humor is the self-defense mechanism.
Yeah. But seriously,
it is currently in Kickstarter. Kickstarter, which I linked in chat if anyone's interested in backing.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, and I get it. One thing, maybe I'll ask Matt because I still have him on Skype.
Yeah.
One thing I got to say is that $115 and $896. Oh no, wait, yeah, and $896. That's a weird
Maybe
number.
He's very confident that that's exactly how much it's going to cost him.
Well, I don't know. Maybe. Well, laughing about it, I'm just thinking like I don't know how bad his OCD actually is.
Oh yeah,
that's the thing. Or maybe he's just very accurate with his numbers. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, 150.
Maybe that takes into account like taxes and stuff.
Yeah, maybe. Currently, almost to 25,000 with 22 days to go, so plenty of time to get that to where it needs to be. I think I'm with you. I thought it would be a little bit more, but just because everyone loved Devastated Dreams and Devastated Dreams, Never-Ending Nightmares is what I meant, and it got a lot of publicity. So I thought maybe there would be a lot of thing there, but a lot of support off the bat already. Well, that is actually a lot of support.
Yeah, thousands and thousands of dollars.
676 backers. That's a lot of support.
Yeah,
so,
that is a lot of support
for just a few days.
Yeah,
there's actually a GIF on this page.
Yeah,
that's one thing that Never-Ending Nightmares. It's some of the imagery is pretty disturbing. By the way, warning. You see it down there?
Yeah.
The mosquito thing.
Yep. Don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. If you want to know what we're talking about, go to the Kickstarter page. It's pretty gross.
Yeah.
But don't do it if you're squeamish
or have a problem with animated violence.
Yeah.
Actually, but if you have a problem for animated violence, you probably shouldn't be here.
Yeah. So I don't know if now I'm all distracted.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, what I was saying was that Never-Ending Nightmares had some pretty bad, not bad, but gruesome imagery in it that kind of disturbed me then too. Like in Never-Ending Nightmares, there was a part where he like ripped the veins out of his arms.
Yeah, I remember that too.
That made me go, ugh. Oh God.
The imagery in this one is just as
bad. Yeah. So there's that. Again, cool, really, a really cool aesthetic. He's sticking with the same kind of black and white aesthetic with the darkness. It's almost like charcoal drawing.
Yeah.
And the first time I saw Never-Ending Nightmares, I was like, man, that's really cool and impressive that he was able to kind of animate, using that style, because it's like multiple layers, like a completely, like he just took a charcoal and just went like all over the place.
Yeah.
First layer, but then your light shines through that.
Wow, you're right.
You know what I mean?
There has to be some sort of built-in engine.
I don't know if he did any custom work or not.
Man,
it really all it is
so
layers.
But the craziest thing is that it works so well that you wouldn't think that it was like pre-animated.
Yeah.
It really, really, really looks really good. I think it looks too good for them to have, and I could be insulting them by doing this, but going into every frame, especially in certain situations where some things are going to be blocked or whatnot, and animating that and then triggering that, that's crazy.
It's pretty impressive. One of the things that that's going to be different, other than the story and character, from Never-Ending Nightmares to Devastated Dreams. By the way, not sequels. These are two standalone games, just by the same person, same style. Is that there's going to be more puzzles in this? So if anyone, because they mentioned it during IRX, it was like a lot of people feel like it's more of a interactive novel almost, with a few gameplay mechanics here and there for Never-Ending Nightmares. But he's adding in a little bit more puzzles for Devastated Dreams. Still very much focusing on the experience aspect and the story. But
we'll have to figure stuff out, sort of like the old adventure games.
A little bit more thinking involved.
Yeah. Oh no, he's making us think.
Also, the monsters, I think, are just as disturbing, if not more. So good job, Matt. Some of the options for backing. I'm trying to see here. Start off $1 for your name and the credits. There's a forum access that you can get. There's a digital copy. Actually, there was an early bird special for $10. You get a digital copy plus the forum and name and credits. But now you have to go up to 15 because that's all gone. 433 people.
Yeah.
All the way up to if you want to donate $10,000. Donate $10,000. Rent Matt Gilgenbach for a day, plus you get whatever's from the $2,500 tier, which is, where is it? Incorporate your own personal fears into the game. So spiders, that's an easy one. So you can. Matt Gilgenbach will fly to wherever you want to hang out with him for one day, and you get to do, I don't know, rent a hotel, have a nice dinner,
See where the night takes us.
Exactly.
And it's not that type of peep show, Josh.
Oh, sorry, Matt.
Yeah.
Oh,
So is there anything else you want to mention about Devastated Dreams?
go back it.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Matt, he's a really talented guy. Think about a really talented team behind everything.
Well, that's what I was looking for. Is like where the money's actually going.
Yeah.
Thing. There it is.
It's there somewhere.
Yeah, I got it. It's a pie chart. Some official blah blah blah. The majority of the money, 23%, is going to art assets. I'm working on that. 20% to taxes and 20% to programming. So obviously almost half of this is going entirely to like the actual game. Actually, no, half.
More than that. Yeah, than that.
Half of that is going probably a little bit more. 20%.
Because sound design, music, art, and programming.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's more than
so
that.
yeah, actually that is more like what was that, 3/5?
Yeah.
Say 3/5.
Sure.
2/3.
Someone can do
Say
that.
2/3.
We won't.
I don't know.
2/3.
Programming, art, music, and sound design, all accounting for about 40, 50, over 60%. Some of it's going to Kickstarter fees because Kickstarter takes a cut. Some payment processing cuts. Taxes was the big one, 20%.
And then physical rewards, which are really expensive to do in the first place.
Yes. So if you're wondering, he does definitely have. There's going to be VO in this.
Really?
Hey, Matt. Anyway, yeah, I just noticed that. Actually, he's talking about.
He didn't even mention that at IRX.
Yeah, no. Come on. Well, I don't think he was actually really concentrating on the game either.
Yeah, I know.
He was more talking about the hard just in general. Anyway, so yeah, very clear, very transparent. So good job, Matt, on your Kickstarter. I think that's it. Which means it's time to pull out your phones, turn them on, unlock them, and go mobile. And this week on Going Mobile, we have a game that I was very excited about that we saw at IRX 15. It is called Jaeger Strike. You know how I love the shmups? Well, this is one of the coolest shmups I've seen in a very long time, because not only is it a shmup, it's a very tactical shmup, but it is also in glorious 3D. How many times can you say shmup during this segment?
Shmup. That is hard to say 3 times fast.
Sure.
So this is all sort of it's 2.5D really, but it's 3D. I'll count this as 3D. It really takes me back to the old Empire Earth graphics, which it looks very similar to, and I absolutely love that. Multiple different bosses.
I like how smooth the animation is.
And
you're talking about the 3D aspects to it.
Yeah.
But we just recently saw like a ship like kind of open up.
Yeah.
And that whole animation was just super smooth considering that it's 3D on mobile.
Yeah. And so you can actually get this game on your mobile device right now for 99 cents. You can pick it up on the Google Play Store. I don't know if it's on, is it only Google Play?
It is on Android, yeah.
Okay, so it is only Android. So Android users only, unfortunately, but I mean, just
the chat there.
Just look at this.
As far as I know, maybe I'm mistaken, but that's all I could find was Android. It's probably also in our notes from Indie Revolution Expo, but I'm pretty sure it's only Android.
So definitely check it out if you are interested. Lots of really cool designs, cool weapons that you have to fight against. I was so excited for this game, and it got an honorable mention from IRX.
Yeah, it did. 99 cents on the Android store, or Google Play, whatever the hell you want to call it, by Uberactive Game Studios. Good job, Uberactive. Keep up the good work, and maybe take a chance at a desktop PC type of thing.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, dude, I'd love to play this on my PC. It'd be so awesome.
Well, maybe they could expand on it. You never know.
I'd hope they would.
Yeah.
It is very cool.
Are we missing anything? I know usually mobile's pretty short.
No, we're not really missing anything. Definitely go check it out. It's really cool. I mean, just look at this. Look at this. Look at the screen right now.
All right, I'm gonna look. Hold on.
For those of you who are listening on iTunes or have been doing something else, stop all that. Go to YouTube. Watch this. It's so cool. Look at that. like
A little bit of bullet hell.
yeah, some bullet hell, like just the transitions and scenery are just so awesome.
I really like how the depth, because I saw it,
Yeah.
how kind of the thing sank and the ship went
Yep.
up and all that sort of stuff. I like the
And
depth.
like
effect.
that, like
Yeah.
you're not gonna see it right now. but-
Oh, imagine that like actual 3D.
Oh yeah,
Like where shit's flying at you? Yeah, like where shit's flying at you.
VR, yeah, that'd be so cool. That'd be a really fun game to play with a headset, even though like looking around like doesn't do anything.
Yeah, but just having just the
Yeah,
3D
just
aspect
having
of
it
like
there would be
the
so
classic
awesome.
3D. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe
get on an
here's an idea.
interactive.
Here's an idea. Make it actual 3D and then give like the red and blue 80s 3D
Yeah.
glasses.
That'd probably be easier.
Yeah. There you go.
That'd be really cool.
You know what's not so cool? It's not
Oh,
as cool as Jaeger
no.
Strike. or
Something
going
that
mobile.
Rev wasn't able to be here for.
What a dick.
Yeah, because it's the end of the show.
Rev's boss is a dick. That's who it is. It is the end of the show. All good things must come to an end. And thank you all for coming by. Just to remind you all, we have a Patreon. If you like what we're doing, you want to see more, help us grow, and achieve all the goals that are on our Patreon page that you can check out. Please head over to patreon.com/IndieGameRiots. $1 or more once per month helps us out a lot. Thank you so much. All goes right back into the show at this point. We're not making any money. We just want Indie Game Riot to be the best as possible before we start trying to make a living off of it. You know what I mean? So thank you all so much for helping us out and considering the support for that.
Yeah.
Now, the other things, if you are a dev or know someone who is and has a game that could be featured on Indie Game Riot, please contact us. Tons of way to contact us. First of all, we're all over the internet. We're on recorded versions are on our site indiegameriot.com. But we are also live for those of you listening to the recorded version, hitbox.tv /JaShinYa. And we're on Twitter at IGR Podcast or Facebook.com/IGR Podcast. And of course, you can just email us contact@indiegameriot.com. But you just visit our website too and get all this information on indiegameriot.com.
Yeah.
There you go.
Have you mentioned the website?
Have you mentioned
The Twitter?
mentioning things? Well, that was a show.
That was
a
show.
very smooth. That was a very smooth show.
We have weeded out the problems.
I think that, seriously, after all the stress of IRX and all that stuff,
We needed this.
I think with that, but I think it really helped, kind of like help us hone
Streamline.
streaming.
Yeah.
Because
We
when
got
you're
this
under,
down.
we got thrown into the fire. We came
Mhm.
back out with just a few char burns, and
I still have my whole beard.
now the show has improved. I
Yeah.
think, as far as like efficiency goes. Maybe not the beginning. We still started late.
Oh well.
but
But we're not ending late.
we are not ending late. No.
No.
And we still had some good in between segments.
Yeah.
We like talking to you guys.
And thank you for everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
Thank you for Rev for not
Fucking
being
off.
here. Yeah, I don't know. What was I talking about? Who's that guy?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, thank you so much for showing up. And any last words?
I don't know. Are we gonna have a non-IRX episode next week?
Yeah,
I think we deserve one of those.
that
I'm a
was
little
this was the
IRX'd
last.
out.
This was the last IRX mentioning, maybe except for maybe on Twitter when people are still talking about it. By the way, still trending on Twitter somewhat. So fuck Internet Retail Expo or where the hell else is using
Whatever
IRX.
it was. Cease and desist.
Yeah, exactly. So say goodbye, gentlemen single.
I'll see you next time, guys.
Have a good one, folks.